Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be covering a basic pencil drawing technique. It's a layering method and something I've been working with lately to create feathers and hair patterns from scratch. Matter of fact, these are two drawings that I recently made using this technique. And bear in mind, this is a beginner's tutorial, so later I will be doing more advanced ones, more like the ones you see in the picture here. So without further ado, let's get going. And by the way, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe. So first for the feather, you're going to just kind of draw like the little feather pattern, the little lines that make up the feather. And then you're going to get I like to use a Q-tip. It's really good for doing a soft kind of blending. So then you're just going to use hard erasers, the better. I like using the eraser on the mechanical pencils. It seems to give me some finer lines when I'm trying to do that. So you just put in your highlights and you come back through with a darker pencil. And you're going to just kind of put in a little bit more details coming from the center out and then from the outside in is how I like to do them. Go ahead and blend again, and this technique is it's called layering, and for this reason, because you keep going through and each time you try to do finer and finer details and just refining the feather as you go. And then after we go through the feathers, you'll see the same exact technique can be used for hair as well. And the best thing about the layering is you can really do as many layers as you want to a point, as long as you're not damaging the paper. But I like to do at least 3 layers to get the right amount of detail that I want out of it. Just make sure on your last layer, that's when you're going to do your darkest strokes, and try to do your finer lines when you're both erasing and doing the dark lines. And then whenever you put, say, one feather on top of another feather next to each other, that's another reason I like doing this method. Is you can kind of skew them a little bit, make it look a little bit different. That way, not every feather is just identical to each other. So whenever was doing the wings, I just made each feather up as I went along. I didn't pre-sketch out each individual feather first or anything like that. And I really liked the result that came out of it. So for the hair, I chose just to do a simple braid. Start off with a circle for the head, and then for the braid pattern, just kind of do like a little zigzag line going down, and then from each point, just draw a little curved line up to the line above it, and that will work as a good outline basis for your braid pattern. And for the hair, we're just going to be doing the same layering method that we did with the feathers. So just kind of start off with light pencil outlines and make sure all of your strokes are going in the direction that the hair would be flowing naturally, because even though we're not actually creating every individual strand of hair, we're trying to create the illusion of every strand of hair. So part of that with pencils is just make sure the line flows in that direction. I did take out just a couple of the redundant parts just because I didn't want to bore you with seeing the same things over and over again, but I still wanted you to see the progression of the hair as it goes along here. So just remember, each layer you're going to add a little bit more pressure to the pencil. You're going to make it a little bit more darker and a little bit more details into each one. And it really, really is going to come to life whichever one you're doing on around the third, if sometimes fourth layer, depending on how detailed you're wanting to get with it. And when it comes to doing the final layer, whether it's on the feathers or on the hair, when you're doing those darker spots, just kind of look, and the strokes you've done with the eraser and with the previous marks will kind of create little random patterns for you that you can pick out and darken up a little bit to make it look more realistic. And then I always like to come in afterwards and put in a few stray hairs, just you know, coming off the sides of the hair, you know, a little bit off the braids, because other than maybe magazines, I've never really seen a perfectly braided hair that has no strands anywhere. So this is the final result. Like I said, this is the basic tutorial, and then later on I'm going to be doing a full wings tutorial, possibly even with like a portrait involved. If you get the chance, I do have a Zazzle store. I know you can't really sound manly saying Zazzle, but I've been starting to put my artwork and designs up there for sale on various things like pillows and coffee mugs and phone cases. So I'll put the link in the description of this video if you guys want to scoot on over there and take a look and maybe buy some stuff and have a little piece of art in your home. So hey, thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like and subscribe, and can't wait to create some more artwork for you.